Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Everyday Growth Advisors live stream. I hope you guys are having a great morning. We have a great stream here for you guys today with a special guest, a special guest, Jason from OptionsSwing, who will be joining us in a little bit. We're going to go through the regular live stream, so things are going to go a little quicker than usual today. I hope that you guys enjoy the stream, what we're going to put together, and let's get it on. So let's kind of do the whole market run through, get everything sorted, and then Jason's going to come on a little later. All right, so let's cycle through our general direction. As you know, we go through the news first, right? I'm going to try and get done as many tickers as possible today. So if you have tickers that you want done, please put them up. I'll probably only get to about 5 or 10 depending on how many we get today. Remember to make sure that you smash the like button because it's a Monday and Mondays are fun days and we're going to have Jason here. So let's try and get the likes up to at least 150 today. All right, that's the aim. All right, cool. Let's look through the news and see what's going on. We have virus surge jolts prospect for world economy. This is what the Bloomberg is reporting. I'm guessing that news is starting to cycle bad news again. But then there was also a mixed sentiment with futures kind of rallying for a little bit, right? To me, looks like we're still going to see a bullish outcome here. There is also, what else? There is liquor maker, China offshore defaults, top 4 billion as oil firm joins list. Let's see, 7 people, damn, some people shot at a Carolina block party. Okay. We have Apple will remove thousands of unlicensed live iPhone games in China. A whole bunch of different kinds of news today that are not entirely market related. All right. Let's look at what the Wall Street Journal is reporting and see what's going on there. Let's look at the markets, right, and see what they're reporting. Virus cash needs prompt firms to rethink investments, right? There is liquidity, but now there's a problem of inefficient liquidity. That's something that we are going to see becoming an increased problem. When liquidity is provided and people take it with both hands open, it also depends on what they use the liquidity for. I like to think that, if you are using liquidity for a higher productivity, right, then your liquidity has a good marginal return. But if your productivity curve is downward and you are spending money just to give it like an example, right? Say you spend money on a TV, right? It's a TV and you watch shows on it all day. Is this producing you any asset? No, it's not. So this is not a good investment at all, right? But then if you buy, stocks or shares, right? Then, what happens is that you're buying an asset. This asset produces cash flows, and that is a productive asset, right? So the problem right now is that a lot of people have taken up loans, but might not be using them in the most productive way. That's one thing that is causing small businesses to feel a crunch. And the government can't possibly keep, the Federal Reserve can't keep printing money and giving people money through the purchases of treasury bonds. So they have to cap it off at some point. Okay. Stock futures climb at the start of the week. We're seeing the S&P 500 kind of go through a phase over here. I'm going to get to this in a second. And rallying the raw material signals, economic rebound. Raw materials starting to see a little bit of a uptick there, right? They might be signaling the fact that people want to start using raw materials again, which means the economy is restarting. But that might be temporary. So we have to be careful. All right, cool. And financial, okay, that's nothing. Chinese energy companies default on dollar bonds. That might be problematic. Wirecards missing 2 billion probably doesn't exist, board says. Okay, interesting. Not really that much, honestly. Let's have a look at the Dow Jones biggest movers today. We have Microsoft back at 196. Microsoft has been the one I've been telling you guys about for a long time now, and I've been saying I'm bullish, bullish, bullish. Intrinsic valuation somewhere between $220 and $240. Stock is still undervalued based on its cash flows, future cash flows. I personally like the stock long term, but I don't want to buy it here. It's too high. I want to wait for a little bit of a dippy before I get it, right? So I will not get in. I had Microsoft Leaps like maybe 2 weeks ago, and I sold them for a profit. And I was anticipating some kind of a downturn so I can get in cheaper. ExxonMobil, one of the ones that are moving in also. Not really that much. All volume across the board is quite low. Expect this week to have a pretty low volume. Let's see, are there any? We have existing home sales today at 10 a.m. And for May and then month over month, we have auctions for 6 month and 3 months T-bills, and an FOMC member who's going to be speaking. So maybe we can keep track of those. Facebook down a little bit. Not sure if it's really that relevant. But these are your pre-market top losers on the S&P 500. On the NASDAQ, we have JD up a little bit. Tesla very minutely at $1,000. Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Not many big movers today. Market's relatively flat. So let's get into the pre-market, the SPY technical analysis, which is what I go through every live stream, right? Now, looking at this on a daily basis, we are still in a bull run, okay? We are still in a upward channel. You can see that, right? Obviously, as I've said many times before, nothing moves up in a straight line directly. We always have impulsive waves, corrective waves, impulsive waves, corrective waves, impulsive waves, corrective waves. And so, with these impulsive and corrective waves, you have to realize that even these points here, which were used as support, are still a dip on the uptrend, right? This was a 5% correction, give or take, which was a good correction. This was the market overheating and then got dumped as a support here. You know what this is? This is literally the, you know when you go to those games where you sit on a bull? It's like that bull you sit on and it keeps rocking back and forth. And you're sitting on it and you're trying to hold on for your dear life because you've had a few margaritas and you're like, you know, you're kind of like about to puke. And this thing just keeps rocking back and forth. Yeah, that's this right here. This is what we call shaking out weekends, right? So when the market dips like that, what it anticipates to do is to make players who are not confident in the market shake off those hands, okay? Let me just make sure everything's good here. Dope. So, yeah, okay, good. Sometimes I get afraid that I didn't, you know, show the thing right there. Cool. Welcome into the stream, guys. I hope you're having a great morning. Make sure you smash the like button today. It's a especially special stream today, so make sure you smash the like button. We have Jason coming on in about 20 minutes. I'll try to, you know, get it so we can get it nicely done. People who came on and put your tickers early, you probably have them gone through, but we will talk about that in a bit. Okay, back to this. Looking at the technicals, right? So we're still on the uptrend. And then if you go and look on the 4 hour, you can see a smaller snapshot of this right here, right? So this was the part that I'm telling you about, where you're riding that one bull thingy and you're kind of drunk and you don't know what's going on and everybody's like, we need to sell. And people who with weekends, this is where they sell, right? Institutions don't sell here if they're holding long-term positions, right? They know this 5% is a nominal correction. And obviously when people see this and then this, impulsive corrective, impulsive wave again, they're like, oh my God, we need to sell. And so they sell right here. And then what happens? Boom, back up, right? So same thing, you can expect the same thing to happen for us to, you know, kind of, we've tested this high and now we're testing another high, another kind of a lower high. We need to see where this goes. So how do we tell where we're going from here? Obviously, I'm not a fortune teller and no one should ever try to tell the future because no one can, right? But what do? We try to use the best tools that we have to understand where this market is heading to, okay? And so I've drawn this kind of a flag that was here. This was a bull flag. We got a break on either side now. which is interesting. So we need to see how we perform this week, which will be a really big telltale sign. Now, if you look on the 1 hour chart, you can see it a little more clearly that this line is actually being rejected here. Now, from a technical standpoint, that looks like grounds for it to go back to the 38.2 or even the 50, right? I think that we're going to get a couple more of these weak handshakes, especially since the economy is a little uncertain right now, okay? So what we can do is start to take up minor hedge positions. Now, over Friday, quadruple witching day, I actually did take hedge positions for over the weekend. Now, I'm not sure if they're entirely going to pay off because I had VIX calls for $37 or $38. Might be probably barely breaking even, but I bought them for 2 weeks out. So I still have time on them, right? But it's not a bad idea to take 1 or 2 contracts, right, of a hedge over here. And, you know, you add those on as a protective layer to your long positions, because the majority of your positions will be long, right? And you don't have anything betting to the downside. So what do? You bet something to the downside by capping off with a hedge. And how do you do that? You buy VXX or you buy UVXY, right? Or you can buy calls on puts on SPY, right? Or you could buy a put spread on SPY. Okay. There are many ways that you can play this as a hedge. Okay. Personally, I like betting on fear and volatility more than I like betting on puts on SPY. It gives me a better risk to reward ratio. Okay. Cool. So I'm going to leave that's pretty much it for a technical update. If we do fail to break this level, the 38.2, and go further down, then we're going to see a bounce back up. So this should be a key level to watch. Okay. Ever since we are getting rejected here. We're getting rejected by the moving averages. So just keep that in mind. And from a technical standpoint, it does look like, you know, we may come down to test the 38.2 and 50 again. 61.8, I'm not sure yet, but maybe you might get there. You never know. If the market sells off abruptly on bad news, then yes. Okay. All right. That's the technical update from SPY, SPX, SPY, whichever you call it. And let's have a look at some of these questions. Awesome. So let's get it done today. Welcome into the stream, guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday. Glad that you guys are taking some time to be here. Remember that our chat now has a super chat function. You can send stickers and chats that will show up on the top over here if you want to donate to the stream, or if you feel like you want to buy me a coffee. Now you have an avenue to do that. Just want to put it out there. You're not obligated to do so in any way. This stream will forever be free for anybody who wants to watch it. Okay. Awesome. Let's get through these tickers now. I'll try to do as many of them as possible before we get Jason on here. So X Steel, $9 put. Okay. United States Steel, $9 put. Yeah, looking interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Not looking interesting for puts. So I can see why you took the trade, but unfortunately the issue here is, what I see is that there was a whole bunch of volume buying on Friday. Now, even though we need to wait for this moving averages to converge down over here, move below these two, and then, you know, we can see some downward pressure. A break below the 770 level-ish would mean bearishness for this ticker. I do like the prospect of having it short long term, but you have a July 2nd expiration, which is really near. So be careful with that one, man. I see some bullish buying here. We can go in and check if it indeed was bullish buying, and yes, it was bullish buying on Friday. So be careful there. Be very careful. You can see the OBV clearly got bought up sometime on Friday. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Jeremy, for coming in, by the way. Good morning, Saul. How you doing? Thank you for coming in from the Dominican Republic. I appreciate you being here. I'm in the money on NEO. I have the July 2nd $7 call. When do you think I should sell them? If you're in the money and you're in profit, sell them and take your profits. If you think that you should take profits, you should take profits. If you think that it's too late to enter a trade, you shouldn't enter the trade. If you think something, you should follow your instinct. That's my experience with these things. Good morning from New York City, man. Welcome into the stream. Chris, Roku 240 calls, just by looking at that and the expiry, I already know that you're way out of the money, and I don't think you're going to hit that. I would recommend you to sell that position for a profit if you can. Make sure you guys smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't. This stream happens every Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. We break down the market for you. If I do get a consistent amount of 500 people coming into the stream, I will do the stream Monday through Friday for you guys. Right now, we are growing at a very fast pace, and so it will not be a long time before after we achieve a everyday stream. And then I will consider also adding in a kind of a live trading session in the future where you guys can see me trade live. It's all in the works. I have a couple of ideas, and so I hope that with the growth of the stream and you guys support recommending the stream to other people who are like-minded like us, the EGA will grow, and you will grow along with the EGA. So thank you very much for supporting the stream, guys. I love all of you, and I appreciate you taking the time out to be here. Good morning, Jason. I will be speaking to you very, very shortly. Tatiana, welcome in. Work 626, 3450 calls. Let's have a look. 3450 calls for work 626. That's this week expiry. Yeah, it's looking good in my opinion. But your expiry is a bit short, man. Okay, I do see the bullish case for it, right? Nice volume increments here. But the problem with this is that I see also the fact that it's consolidating above this resistance, and it's failing to break above it. So you might want to, if you're in profits on this contract, you might want to take the profits and roll it out to a further expiry, to next week or the week after. That's my advice to you. Can you explain what the on-balance volume represent again, please? The on-balance volume indicator is an indicator that just doesn't tell you about volume. Let me make this absolutely clear for people who are watching the stream for the first time. The on-balance volume indicator is this indicator right here. It usually appears on the bottom of the screen, but I've moved it to the top, okay? It's the blue line that you see streaking through my chart. It's usually here, down here, okay? But I've moved it up. And when you move it up, you can change the scale to percent over here so that it's easier for you to read how many percent is going in and out of the stock. Now, if you realize, there are two types of volume that I use. This volume on the bottom, these are regular volume bars. They do not tell you whether this was bullish or bearish. How do you tell if this was bullish or bearish? Many people, they think that if it's red means it was sell volume. But this is a very big myth. People don't realize that these candlesticks over here, they only take on the color of the candlestick that is above it. So if this candlestick is green, then the volume bar becomes green. If this is red, it becomes red. If this is green, it becomes green. So you get the idea. So this volume, the only thing it tells you is the total amount, total buying and selling. So how do you tell if volume indeed went in and out? Well, that's when the OBV comes into play. So because this over here shows you if volume was higher than usual, then you can see if OBV is pointing upward. This shows OBV doesn't only measure volume, it measures the momentum of the stock. So if OBV is pointing upward, right, that means volume was flowing into the stock. You can see that the volume went from 7% to 13%, right? So that's almost a lot of gain in volume. Hence, I know that there are more people holding the stock now, and prices are likely to go further up based on supply and demand, right? If there's more demand for something and not much supply, then prices go up, right? So that's the idea of how you use OBV and the explanation for it, okay? I hope that helps you out. Good morning, Cody. How you doing? Good morning from Philly. Welcome in, man. Good morning. Good morning. 16th on the like. Thank you very much for doing that. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate the donation there, Kenny. Hey, bro. Kenny here from Singapore. Just want to say you're really awesome and your content is really amazing. Want to say thank you for your help earlier. Baidu 18 September. Baidu 18 September 130. Oh, 18 September 130. Okay, cool. I'll do that ticker in a little bit. Thank you very much for the donation, Kenny. I appreciate you. All right, let's see over here what's going on. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Greg. How you doing? Smash the like button. Thank you, guys. Yes, please do smash the like button. I really hope that we can get to 150 likes today. That would be nice. Morning tea. Let's make the bread. Excited to meet Jason. Awesome. Thank you very much for coming in. Good morning. All right, let me see if I have any more questions here that are non-ticker related. I want to get those out of the way as well. Good morning. Smash the like button. Absolutely. Good morning, Joanne. How are you doing? Smash the like button. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. Good morning. Awesome. Top of the morning, JR. How are you doing, man? Welcome back. Long on X. Cool. Just make sure that you're careful on that. I went through X a little earlier, so keep that in mind. All right. No need to fear. Mr. Smash the like button is here. That's a good one. Curious how many weeks till expiration where I should consider rolling my contract. I would recommend 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but it's entirely up to you. Warwick, welcome in, man. Appreciate you being here. Let me just go ahead and make you a mod real quick. Add a moderator. All right, awesome. We have a whole bunch of security guards now, so if anybody comes in and tries to say anything out of pocket, it's going to be protected. Okay, let's see. All right, let's go back to this and see how many more I can do here. I did go through NEO already. Let's do the... All right, I'll do this one here. Baidu 18 September 130. Baidu. Oh, September 18, 130 calls. 130 is... Oh, sorry, wrong chart. Time frame. Looking interesting for sure. Baidu is looking bullish. I do see a short-term correction before. You do have a long expiry, so I think you will be fine, Kenny. You got to hold on to that contract for a while. 130 calls seems probable. You know, if we break above this resistance here, absolutely possible. By the way, just a quick shout out to any Singaporeans who are watching the stream. I appreciate you being here. Remember that I'm a Singaporean and I am from Singapore and I am in Singapore right now. In fact, if you are a Singaporean and you're part of OptionsSwing, I would really love it if you reached out to me by DM on OptionsSwing, and maybe we can have a Singapore meetup of some kind, you know, have a kind of a meetup and just, you know, talk about like-minded things, you know. So DM me on Discord, guys. Cool. So yeah, I do like the trade. Bullishness on Baidu for sure. I do see some volume flowing out of Baidu though, so be really careful here. If you see the stock break below the 118 level here, I would recommend you to sell your position and take the loss on it. I would set your stop loss somewhere here, so that you have a protection on your portfolio. Okay. Cool. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Good morning. Okay. Walmart 125 call 717. Walmart 125 717. Okay. Walmart up today pre-market, looking interesting. I do have some Walmart calls. 125 is a bit wow. Yeah, I mean, I do see the case for it, but we need to get over this 123 level, right, to really see some bullishness here. The issue with Walmart is that it's still in a downtrend, right? You can see that. If it comes up and then gets rejected here, it's going to go down again. So we'll see what happens today, this week. But I think you have 2 weeks more, 3 weeks more. You should be okay with that one. Just hold it for now, I guess. All right. NEO, I went through NEO already. CRM 200 call 717. Let's have a look. CRM. All right, 200 calls, 717. Ooh, that's a far out. I don't think you're going to hit that one, unfortunately. Pretty slow moving stock. It has to come down before it goes up. You're going to burn a lot of theta trying to achieve that one. It's going to come down here, bounce, and then go back up. And it's not going to go like this and then this. That's a pretty far move, if you ask me, unless some breaking news comes out about CRM, which then, that's beyond our control. But, for it to move up back here, it's not going to go entirely like that. It's going to go like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. And remember, it never goes up in a straight line. So just remember that. Okay, keep that in mind. I think you should take your profits on that or whatever that you're in. Welcome into the stream, guys. Let's try to get to 150 likes today when Jason's on the stream. In about 5 minutes, we're going to have him on. So make sure you smash the like button, guys, because that's all I ask for when you come to these streams. I put out a lot of content for you guys, and all I ask for in return is to just smash the like button. Okay, cool. Dope. Let's see. Neo went to that. Roku 135 calls for July 2nd. Roku 135 July 2nd. Oh, I do have some secret mission here. I do have a trade plan for Roku. If you enter here, if you want to take entry on Roku here, it's kind of in the middle. You're going to have to expect a return of at least 137. With the options trade, you would have to divide these by 2. So, yeah, I would say it's possible. So, just keep that in mind. I think it is possible, but you have too short of an expiry. That's all I think, Chloe. So be careful there. GE, $8 call, 626. All right, I'll do GE, and then I'll scroll down to see if we have any other questions apart from that. GE, let's do it. All right, General Electric. Remember, this company doesn't have very good fundamentals right now. GE, $8 call, 626. That's not a good one at all. Absolutely not. I don't like this trade at all. It's kind of rallied up. This seems like a kind of a fake rally, but you never know. It might go back up there again. I think that volume's flowing out of the stock. And then also the moving average is starting to point down. We're making lower highs, lower lows, right? Downtrend. I personally wouldn't take it, and I think that you have a short expiry. It's gonna get drained by a short time. So let's have a look at the rest of the questions here. Alrighty, let's see. Thank you once again, Kenny. I appreciate you, man. That was really nice of you to donate to the stream. All right. Hey there, fellow Singaporeans. So we do have a few Singaporeans in the midst. Claire, Singapore as well. Awesome. I hope that you guys are part of the OptionsSwing community. We can, definitely arrange a meetup. All right. I don't think we're going to go through many other tickers. I did say today was going to be a relatively short ticker day. Remember, guys, if you want me to go through your tickers, you have to make sure that, all right, fine. We'll do one last one. Amazon, 2,700 call. Thank you very much for the donation, by the way, Ashton. I appreciate you. 2,700 call for this week. Oof. I don't know about that one, man. But, geez. Ay. I think it's possible, but you need some bullish momentum. And the market's kind of going... I don't know. It's looking very shaky to me. I don't like this movement. That's the thing about it. You see, it's still a downtrend. I just hope that you will get rid of this position by Wednesday. Okay, that's all. Just be careful with that. All right. Cool. Thank you very much for the donation, guys. About 1 minute now, so I'm gonna actually start bringing Jason in here because we want to make sure that we have a good amount of time with him. This is a very, very special event, guys, because Jason wouldn't ever come on. He's a very busy person, and we don't want to waste his time and not be efficient with this. So I'm going to get him on here right now. I hope that, you guys will enjoy this as much as I do. So let us welcome Jason. He is the founder of OptionsSwing and also the CEO. An amazing person that I've met in a short time. He has been a great mentor and a great advisor throughout all of the time that I've known him, and easily one of the most coolest people with the nicest sounding voice. So, Jason, welcome into the stream. How are you doing today? Hey.
Hey,
How are you doing, Jason?
good. How are you?
I am good. I am good. I think you gotta mute the stream and then we'll talk on the Zoom here now, because the stream might be
Perfect.
a little laggy. But welcome in, man.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yes. um, how is your morning going so far?
It's going. It's busy as always, just kind of getting prepped for market open and everything and getting the group set up.
Yeah, that's always a ordeal. But we do it pretty good, right? I think we do it pretty good. So it's exciting to have you here. Big moment for OptionSwing. We have almost 50,000 people following you. How does that feel like, man?
Uh, it's definitely pretty crazy. I think when I started back in August, I had maybe 50 to 100 followers, that month. And I was kind of
Yeah.
thinking about kind of long-term targets and, what is the potential here. And for me, I thought even hitting like 5,000 members would be incredible. And
Yeah.
so to be sitting at just under 52,000 right now is just mind blowing for me.
I know, man. It's insane because I see many people don't know this, but I've been following OptionSwing since you had 300 followers on Instagram, and I'm probably one of the first few people who are part of Discord, maybe the first 50 people part of the Discord, and the
That's
speed in
right.
which we have grown is immensely crazy. But let's get a little bit of the niceties out of the way because I'm sure people are dying to know about you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Maybe tell us, where you're from, how old you are, and maybe how long you've been trading for.
Yeah, sure. Happy to. So, originally from New York City, or New York State, I should say. Lived in New York City for a while. I now live in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I've been here for the past 5 years. And I'm soon actually going to be moving down to Miami to join Jim, our other admin, so that we can open an office and work and trade together every single day.
Nice. Yeah, that's a sick thing, man. I'm so excited for you guys, honestly. Seeing you grow into this has been one of the most inspirational things that I've ever been a part of. So, definitely, living vicariously through you.
I appreciate that. And
So,
also, I am 31, and I've been trading stocks for about 7 to 8 years, and I've been doing options trading for the last 2 to 3 years.
nice. So you're very similar to what I've been doing, actually. Nice. That's good to know. That's good to know, man. Who actually got you into trading? Like, what hooked you on? What was the thing that reeled you in?
Yeah, so this one's a fun story. So shout out to Warren Villanueva. He's one of our members in our group right now.
Uh huh.
Warren and we used to actually work together pretty much 7 to 8 years ago. And he was actually one of my hiring managers at the time. And though I didn't work directly for him, him and I would talk and hang out all the time at the office. And, we ended up becoming best friends that way. And over this time, he used to be really big into trading. And so he kind of introduced me to the world of stocks, into the world of how to buy and sell, how these brokerage apps work. And then he started kind of teaching me the importance of managing your own money.
Uh
And
huh.
so as I kind of got exposed to that and kind of learned through him and kind of practiced on my own, that's kind of what got me started.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So basically, somebody else introduced you to the market, and you were like, okay, I'm gonna try and look for another stream of income here, and that's how you pretty much started, huh?
Absolutely.
Nice. And when did you make your first trade? Like, when, was it like after the financial crisis or?
It was definitely after the financial crisis. I didn't start trading until probably 2012-ish, 2013. And so for me, my first trade was, I don't even remember exactly what it was at the time, but it was kind of around those penny stocks. It was definitely around things because at the time I had just been out of school. I didn't have a lot of money at the time. And so for me, even spending, $500 to $1,000 on stocks is, already half a paycheck, if not sometimes a full paycheck. And so
Yeah.
when I was kind of, investing in the beginning and trading in the beginning, I was looking at a lot of these like small cap companies just because I could buy more shares of them, which ultimately ended up helping me kind of start growing my bankroll.
Nice. So you had the very entrepreneurial mindset from a young age already. I can see that. From just the way that you explained that situation, I can already see that you were thinking like a business person.
Definitely.
Awesome. And let's see. Let's go back to the start here. So give us the lowdown, man. How did you meet Jim, and how did the idea of OS come about?
Great, great question. So, Option Swing started back in August, and prior to August, I had been trading again for the past like 2 to 3 years, and not, I don't think, I think the majority of people don't know my personal Instagram, but those that do know my personal will see that I've traveled a lot over the past years. And I've gotten a lot of questions around, how do I travel so much? How do I have so much flexibility? Granted, I have a full-time job that does pay me well. I do software engineering for a public company, so I do have to be careful about, how much I actually disclose. But the bottom line is, I would kind of trade. I kind of had this lifestyle, and a lot of people asked me, how was I doing it? So what I did was I started texting a lot of my close friends, different things around trading, teaching them how to trade, teaching them what I look at, looking at different companies for that week and all this kind of stuff. But then it started turning to me texting 3 people to 5 people to 8 people, and then it just became too much. And so what I ended up doing was deciding to start an Instagram channel where I could actually just put all my information out there for free. And so if you actually remember in the beginning, everything that I was putting out there in terms of my stories, my pics, my posts, all that kind of stuff, I was just putting out there as knowledge for everyone to share.
Yeah.
So the idea around like starting that channel was just to amplify the amount of education that I could give to people who were curious and wanted to learn.
Yeah.
In terms of meeting Jim came about probably a month and a half after I started OptionsSwing. My favorite story to tell about Jim is, we were DMing each other for a little while, and there was one specific trade where I thought it was going to go up, and Jim was looking at it and he said, no, it's going to go down. And I was like, no, look at the chart, look at the technicals. I think it's going to go up. And he goes, no, man, take a look again. It's going to go down. And so I said, hey, you pick your play, I pick my play. Let's just see what happens. And lo and behold, the play goes down, and Jim was right. And so I started really kind of taking notice because I knew he was smart, but I knew that he was also looking at something very different to what I was looking at, which I thought was very interesting. And so he actually became the first person that I ever shared my personal cell phone number with. And then from that day, we started texting each other every single day. And I don't think there's been a single day since, pretty much late August, early September till today that we haven't talked. So we've been talking every single day since then.
Gotcha. Okay. Wow. Amazing. By the way, if you're in here for the first time on this stream, we do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You might have missed the first half of the stream, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. Tune in on Wednesday where we have the full stream. Today we do have a special guest. He is Jason, who is the founder of OptionsSwing. And we're just kind of doing a little bit of a Q&A with him to get to know him. Make sure that you leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. So, Jason, going back to OptionsSwing a little bit, why is OptionsSwing so important to you? What is the main focus of OptionsSwing? Because I know that me and you align on a lot of things, and I want everybody to hear it because it's straight golden.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say there's probably 2 things in terms of what I think about with the importance of OptionsSwing. The second one coming more recently. Right. So the first thing that's important to me is the community itself. When I started OptionsSwing, it was important for me to not only create an environment and a community and a culture where people can comfortably trade and feel like they have a safe space, but also have a lot of fun doing it. And I've just seen so many almost toxic type of cultures and attitudes and environments, that are out there. And that's not where anyone wants to learn. No one wants to be a part of something like that, only to feel down. And trading is already hard. And trading, as much as it shouldn't be an emotional thing, does become an emotional thing because it is, dealing with your own money that you're working very hard for.
Absolutely.
So, it's important for me from a community standpoint to make sure that everyone feels comfortable, everyone can learn, and then there's as much resources as possible to make sure that everyone's enabled to be able to be successful. And so that's probably like the first thing that's most important is just the culture of the community as a whole. The second thing, though, that really started kind of cropping up and is honestly probably the thing that I'm most proud about, out of anything that I've done so far with OptionsSwing, is actually the employees that we have at OptionsSwing. And so there's kind of this misconception that between Jim and I, we lead the group and that's really it, which is completely false.
Yeah.
What people don't understand is that what we've done over the past few months is we've actually hired employees, and we are now sitting at 14 employees that we now have on payroll. Right. And the reason why that's so important to me is because during this time of COVID, during this time when a lot of people lost jobs or were furloughed or were relying on single paychecks and now had no money coming in and were relying only on unemployment to get through, the ability for us to be able to provide opportunities and jobs to people and to be able to pay them, paychecks and stuff like that to supplement their income. And, all this kind of stuff is just kind of like, now looking at it today, it's absolutely incredible. And like, even one of our moderators, Will, a lot of you guys, if you're in the community already, you know him as Will, he used to be a bartender working, part-time and doing that kind of stuff. And we were able to hire him full-time, pay him a salary, and now he works for us and doesn't ever have to go back to that again. And so it's just these kind of moments where, beyond just enabling the community and helping 1,500 plus members that we have today, just the fact that we're also building this as a company and employing very, very good people and smart people and giving them livable wages and so forth. That to me is more important than anything else.
Absolutely, man. Dude, that is such a great point. And, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, being a part of the OptionsSwing team has been a magical, magical thing. Just like what you said, man, the community that we have is unparalleled to anything out there, because I have been a part of many other groups, and there is no community out there that is like us, where we help each other and we are truly teaching you how to fish instead of throwing you fish. There are many communities out there that are really based on call-outs, and we really take the time to do education here really well. That's what sets us apart, especially the fact that we have 14 employees makes it a much, much smoother process. So thank you, Jason, for doing that for us. We appreciate you. I know maybe the mod team doesn't say it enough, but as the OG mod, I want to say it publicly. Thank you very much for all that you do, especially Jose as well. If he's listening, I hope he's listening. You guys are the real deal, man. And it's very heartwarming. So what are some interesting facts about OptionsSwing? And also, maybe you can tell us, what is OptionsSwing's future looking like to you?
Yeah. So in terms of some interesting facts about OptionsSwing, we've been around for about 10 months now. So we're still very, very new, kind of to the space. But we have about 52,000 followers on Instagram, which is awesome. And within our community, we have just over 1,500 members that are all paying and part of our, awesome experience. Yeah. In terms of what the future of OptionsSwing looks like, probably number one, right now we're actually launching a course, which you and I are already partnering on together, and today is actually the first day of class. But one of the biggest things that we want to do is kind of create a more intimate experience for our students and our members to be able to learn in a more classroom type setting, instead of kind of a big kind of chat room, which is essentially Discord. And so having this course kind of starting to run in place, that's definitely something that we're really excited to look forward to. And then the other thing that I will kind of drop, I guess, in terms of a special announcement that no one else really knows, is I'm actually working on a book right now. And so there's been a lot of questions about, how to trade, is there just kind of a single resource that I can go to that teaches me everything I need to know about trading from a mobile device? And so that's actually the book that I'm working on right now. And I'm hoping to release it actually in the coming months. Awesome. And so besides that, just more and more resources, more and more value to the community, more bots, more automation that's scanning the markets, making call outs, all that good stuff.
Dude, that is amazing. I'm going to buy your book for sure, man. That's for sure.
Appreciate it.
Cool. And also, okay, so I know that there are a lot of new traders listening because, this stream has really helped a lot of people. And, I want to first of all thank you also for being here because, it's a lot of a time commitment to take some 30 minutes of your day out to be here. So I really appreciate you being on the AGA stream. But what if you could go back in time, right? Let's say you could go back in time and tell yourself something, and you're saying this to yourself as a complete newbie, right? What is that, maybe that one or two sentences that you would tell people out here who are listening, right before we jump into the Q&As here? What would you tell yourself to advise yourself not to do or to do as a green trader?
Yeah, so this was actually also one of the reasons why I started OptionsSwing, is because I went personally through a lot of these trials and tribulations and making a lot of these mistakes and honestly losing a lot of money too during the process. Some of the most expensive lessons I ever learned were some of my biggest losses. And the things that I would kind of go back to say to myself, if I could, or really to any beginner trader here, is number one, position sizing is incredibly important. So most people, they get lost into the idea of the dollar amounts of your account. If I have 5,000 in my account, what's $500, what's $1,000, what's $1,500. But people aren't looking at that in terms of their percentage size of their account. So what's 10% of my account versus 25% versus 50% of my account? And so people start trading just looking at the dollar amounts, make some trades. And as you know, like the first one is always free. So yeah, they get very confident. Yeah, they start making some money, but then suddenly they're position sizing incorrectly. And then they take a loss, and then they take another loss. And next thing you know it, your account is down, if not sometimes even blown up. So position sizing is an important thing. Learning how to read charts and doing technical analysis is incredibly important. Even the simple support and resistances, just understanding that and understanding where you're purchasing at that point. If you're looking at a resistance point and you're very, very close to it, you shouldn't be buying calls at that point. You should be waiting for that next retracement, wait till the support hits, wait till that bounce, and then buy that call. Absolutely. But again, people don't look at that, right? People just kind of buy in because they think this is the time, or impulsively they'll get into it. So, technical analysis and charting is more important. And then the last thing that I would say is also trading with a group is probably the last thing that I would say. When I traded by myself, I would sit there and just stew in my own misery, whether it's looking at a trade and waiting for it to go up, whether it's looking at a loss and wondering whether I should cut it, looking at an opportunity and whether I should buy into it. And all these things I had to struggle with by myself. And that makes it incredibly difficult to trade. But when you're in a group, not only do you have the collective, intellect of the entire group, helping, but then you also have almost like these fail states where instead of impulsively buying into a position or impulsively selling a position because you think it's at a loss, you can actually ask some other people for their opinion. Hey, I'm currently in this position, exactly what you're doing with your live streams every morning. Hey, this is my strike. This is my ticker. This is the expiration. What are your thoughts? Right? And just being able to get some feedback on that infinitely helps in terms of the psyche and in terms of, how I'm looking at the position. And oftentimes when you do just hold a position a little bit longer, most of the time it does go back up again and it goes back to profitability. But far too often people will just cut that position too early and then take that loss. So just trading with a group, trading with at least a single other person will, in my opinion, help you, grow and help you learn that much faster.
I agree so much, man. And that's one of the biggest things that we offer on OptionsSwing. If you ask me, what is the one thing that gives the immense value for the OptionsSwing platform? It's definitely got to be the education chat, right? The initiative that I spearhead on the platform itself, even though it is not, the most important thing, it is easily one of the most helpful resources that you can get, where you can come in here, post questions, and you can see right now even we have mods who are answering questions as they come in. So being a part of this helps. And like what Jason was just talking about support and resistances, knowing how to chart technicals, how to understand if you should buy something when it's on a rally, if it's coming down, this and that. This is the exact reason why the EGA was born, right? I wanted to put something out there for you guys to get educated, and that is exactly the reason why I started Everyday Growth Advisor. So, this is one thing that I can definitely gonna and agree with. Remember, guys, today is actually going to be the first lesson of the 5 Days of Growth program, which is going to be a weekly program that is partnered with OptionsSwing. We have had 45 spots filled within an hour of the website going live. Now, if any one of you guys who are part of the course are here, I want to say thank you very much for signing up for the course. For people who are prospecting to join the course in the future, remember that signups will happen on Saturday this week at 9 a.m. EST. The same time every week we will open up the slots for you guys. So make sure that you see what kind of value you can gain, and get stuff like that, because it's going to help you out, in my opinion. So let's go and run through a couple of questions here. I'm pretty sure that you guys want to ask some questions. So I think there's a couple questions here for you, Jason. Let's see. What's your IG, Jason? I don't think that you want to say what your IG is, but you can follow him on OptionsSwing. At OptionsSwing.
Yeah, exactly. At OptionsSwing is our channel. And then if you're already in the community, if you want to DM me, and then we can talk a little bit more, and then I'll be happy to share my personal.
There you go. By the way, we are at 131 likes, guys. Come on. We need 19 more likes. That was my goal for today. I would love to see 150 likes over here. And, that would be really nice if we can attain that today. Okay, another question
Hell
from
yeah.
JC here. Any advice on getting over fears of trading after a big loss? This is a very good question, and I would like you to answer this one.
Yeah, JC, that's an awesome question. And honestly, and this is something that I've seen time and time again. It's things that I've experienced with myself. It's things that I've seen with my own mods. It's things I've seen with my own members. And part of trading is losses. Preferably, you want to limit the losses in terms of size. But there are times when you overposition or you average down and you're overexposed, and then eventually you just kind of take that loss. So it does happen. So the first thing to remember is that, it happens to everyone. Now, the second thing is that in terms of getting over the fears, the worst possible thing you can do at that point is revenge trade. And most times people end up digging themselves into a deeper hole because they think, okay, I just lost $500 on this position, or I just lost $1,000 on this position. Well, if I put in another $500, or if I put in another $1,000, maybe I can make that win back. Maybe I can double it, and maybe I can be good again. But what happens more often than not, that position also goes down. So now you're $2,000 in the hole, than before. And so again, position sizing is incorrect there, and then revenge trading is incorrect there. So in terms of getting over that fear, in terms of how to kind of recover and get your kind of psyche back on the right track, paper trade. Paper trading is a tool that is seldom used, in my opinion, and something that we've been pushing very, very hard with our community over the last few months.
Absolutely.
But the whole reason is because, number one, it's free. The second thing is that it's a tool that allows you to use these brokerage apps to place orders and practice. But number three is that you get so many different at-bats and repetitions in terms of being able to, practice different strategies, work on your entries and exits, all that kind of stuff, that even a week of paper trading, I'm not even saying you have to paper trade for the next few months to gain back that confidence. Even just doing it for a week, kind of remembering, what it is that you're looking at, remembering what strategy you're using, and kind of applying that, and then kind of seeing the success come back slowly without, again, the fear of you losing your real money, helps instill that confidence again and gets you kind of back on that right track to start trading profitably with your, real cash account. So, hopefully that helps. And sorry, that was a little bit long-winded, but hopefully that makes sense.
That was great. And,
Yeah.
I want to definitely echo that sentiment because I 100% agree with you. In fact, if you ask me, the best way for somebody to start trading is, number one, be a part of a group. If you don't want to, even sign up for a group membership, what you do is just find a group of like-minded individuals, or find a mentor who's willing to teach you. Then you sign up for a paper trade account and practice trading on that account until you become profitable, which is what we teach on the EGA mentorship course. So if, let's say, you wanted to take the EGA mentorship course, but why would you want to risk your real money? You should start off with fake money and try to learn until you get profitable, and then move and graduate out of that realm after you know that you have been consistently profitable. So I absolutely agree with you, man. Somebody else is asking a question. What did you do with your first mil?
So full disclosure, I haven't hit my first mil yet. And so it's something that I'm definitely working very hard towards. But honestly though, I'm 31 now, and throughout my 20s, I've had my fun. I've owned the cars that I wanted to. I've traveled to the places that I wanted to, and I've experienced kind of a lot of the things that I've really kind of aimed for. And so, kind of coming to my 30s, I've definitely wised up a lot more.
Yeah,
spend nearly as much as I used to. But honestly, with that first mil, honestly, I'm probably going to invest it back into the markets. I'm going to look into things like dividends and find ways to create additional streams of income. But the bottom line is, if I can figure out a way to not ever have to work a corporate job and not ever have to worry about a 9-to-5 and be able to live off of my investments and, maybe a side business or whatever it might be, that's perfect life for me.
Absolutely, man. We are all dreaming towards that multiple streams of income, baby.
Hell yeah.
Okay, somebody's asking, what contracts are you currently holding? Well, to find out more about what contracts Jason is holding, make sure that you sign up for OptionsSwing, because that's exactly what he posts on his channel every single day. There is a OS Trades channel where he puts all his trades out, okay? Maybe on the next live stream, I'll give you guys a sneak peek. So turn up on Wednesday to get a sneak peek of the OS platform. And I'll kind of run it through with you guys so you can see what OS has to offer before you even join, and maybe that will give you guys a little bit of insight. We did hit 155 likes, so Jason, everybody loves you, and your voice is beautiful. So you've won them over.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Books you recommend on chart analysis or spotting patterns. Thoughts on Investopedia guides?
So definitely a tough one. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a big book person. I do a lot of my research online just because there's so much information out there that is free to find. So from a book perspective, I'm not sure if you're part of our OptionsSwing community or not, but what I did was I curated a kind of a list of different books that we can kind of look through. And there's a lot of like ebooks and stuff like that. There's a specific channel inside of the OptionsSwing community called Books for It. So I would recommend looking there for really essentially all sorts of different types of books on charting, on patterns, on strategies, all that kind of stuff. Regarding Investopedia guides, Investopedia is one of my favorite websites to use.
Yeah.
And so I am all for it. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. There's another question here. How did Jason meet Kevin FOMO?
Hey, Ryan. Yeah, so with Kevin FOMO was one of our members who was kind of that unicorn member. We kind of took notice of him because he started making some trades, but then he started making some bigger trades, and then he started making some really big profits. And some of the biggest trades that he made that really solidified himself as a premier member in our group is earlier in the beginning of the year, he did an Amazon trade where he net what was it? Something like $400,000 over the course of 1 week. And if you guys haven't seen that post yet, it's actually in our Instagram channel at OptionsSwing. And if you go back to, I think it was like February or January, something like that, you're going to see one of those, win of the week posts with Kevin FOMO on the cover. And it's a multi-post that kind of outlines him starting with, I think, like 10K or something like that, rolling it into like a 40K profit, taking 20K of that profit and then re-rolling it into 200K and then holding it one more day and then getting it to 400K. So absolutely insane stuff. And the kicker to this is that this was back in January. He did it again this past, I think it was within 2 months ago, he did it again. So another $500,000 play. So that guy is just absolutely nuts and probably one of my favorite traders.
Yeah, he's got a very unique style. And by the way, if you guys haven't already heard the podcast, I recorded a podcast with Kevin FOMO, who we were just talking about. If you go to my channel, you'll see it. It's the part of the EGA podcast series, which I've recently started up. And hopefully we'll have Jason on there soon as well. So make sure you check out the podcast with Kevin FOMO to get to know him a little better. We're trying to provide all kinds of value for you guys, so make sure that you guys come through to the stream. We are at 9:28, which means ding, ding, ding happens in exactly 2 minutes. I will leave this convo here. Jason, thank you so much for coming on to the live stream today. The Everyday Growth Advisors platform would like to warmly thank you for being here and taking your time out to educate our plethora of members here. And we hope to see you on, one of the podcasts in the future. And we'll, try to talk about that offline.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Great. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming into the live stream today, as usual. Another great live stream for the books. Tune in on Wednesday and Friday. Make sure you continue to smash the like button. And if you like the stream, share it with a friend. Let them know what we're doing here. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handles are in the description of the video. Feel free to follow both of us, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Peace out, guys.
See you guys later.